goodness.
Yikes.
I'm right next to an airport, so you're gonna hear that. I'm sorry to make you suffer through this, but I don't have a lick of makeup on anymore, guys. Oh my god, so many books again. I can't even remember all of these. Oh, there's wiggly worms. I hate wiggly worms. Hopefully the actual content makes up for it. It's an interesting choice, but oh, I can't say that I'm in love with it. Meaning not me, but these. Hey everybody, CR Media Gal here, also known as Andrea. Welcome back to my channel. This is a bit of an impromptu intro. I filmed a book haul a couple weeks ago that I have yet to get around to editing. And at this point, I have a number of other books I've also purchased. Most of these are secondhand. I am a bookaholic. I'm buying far more books than I actually have time to read, but
Hey ho.
in any case, I wanted to share my latest round of bookmail. A couple of these I did already unbox because I wanted to make sure that they were okay. Long story longer, I've decided to put together another book compilation video. I know most of the people watching my videos are not subscribers, but people seem to like my last compilation video of unboxing books. So I'm gonna be doing that again today. Before I send you backwards in time to do my previous book haul, I'm going to go through as relatively quickly as possible my latest round of book mail. If you are new around here, I'm an itty bitty booktuber on the internet. I would love for you to stick around for more bookish content. I also do a lot of cozy, lifestyle, home decor, fashion on occasion videos as well. So if you enjoy any of that, you're in the right place. Be sure to give me a thumbs up to let me know if you enjoy these book compilation videos. I'd really appreciate it. And yeah, let's get right into it. This particular book I just unboxed yesterday. Didn't even think to film it. It is Anathema by Kari Lake. This is a beautiful special edition with all that glossiness on the front and some silver foiling. It says on the back here, I long to cast those words into the wind and see them carried to a place from where no one would be brave enough to retrieve them, into the depths of those starving trees that would eat them whole. I opened my mouth for the scream, begging to cut loose. The emotions remained strangled in my throat, like the many times I'd been forced to swallow them back in the face of ridicule and scorn and rejection. I'd learned at too early an age that a girl's scream drew nothing more than apathy. Gorgeous sprayed edges with the crows. I've been hearing a lot about this book, more lately than anything. I don't know though if this is Kari Lake's latest book and that maybe it recently came out. I have no idea. I could be completely wrong on all fronts, but I do know it's supposedly really good for spooky season. Unfortunately, we're headed out of spooky season now, but apparently this it's about a girl who sees the dead. Sounds appropriately spooky. I do have a couple Kari Lake books at this point, and I want to get started on reading her so badly. I keep hearing wonderful things about her gothic romantasy books. I feel like I'm going to be reading a lot of gothic romantasy over the winter time. I don't know, that just seems very appropriate, even more so than like October. This was the first book mail that I have to share with you guys. I did also recently unbox these that I bought secondhand, and it is the fairyloot editions of Emily Wilde. Correct me if I'm wrong. I thought there were 3 books, but maybe I have that wrong. Maybe there is only 2. I thought there were 3. I might have to double check myself. I'm using my phone to film right now, so I can't. These apparently are a nice, like, cozy romantasy. What I have to show you is Emily Wilde's Map of the Otherlands. It's by Heather Fawcett. Just think these fairyloot editions are gorgeous. I think the hardcovers are even prettier. Look at that. That's gorgeous. It's very like antique-ish, which I love. In fairy are things that lie beyond the limits of human understanding. The end page character art is super intriguing. That is so wholesome and sweet. I'm so excited to read these. Emily Wilde is a genius scholar of fairy folklore and has cataloged many secrets of the hidden folk in her encyclopedia with her infuriatingly charming fellow scholar, Wendell Bambleby? by her side. Bumblebee is more than just a brilliant and unbearably handsome scholar. He's an exiled fairy king on the run from his murderous mother in search of a door back to his realm. I didn't know that. I knew this had like romantic academia vibes, but holy crap. This is gonna fly to the top of my like winter TBR for sure. This is the second book I received, Emily Wilde's Compendium of Lost Tales, with the green foiling this time. Green, pretty sprayed edges. These hardcovers, man. These are so pretty. So pretty. Hand you the right storybook and you are capable of anything. Look at them. Gorgeous. Okay. I have the first and third installment, as it turns out. So I gotta get my hands on the second book because I'm sure I'm gonna love the first one.
LOL.
It also came with the page overlays from fairyloot. I'll show you a sample of those as well. This artwork is just so pretty. I have a feeling I'm gonna fall in love with this coupling. I think this will also be a good series to get into over the winter time when I enjoy hibernating the most. Next up is another recent unboxing. I promise you, I do have some actual unboxings in this video. I also bought this edition from Fairyloot, mainly because I thought it was the prettiest edition out there right now. Alchemized by Sinlin Yu. This book is all over booktube, all over book talk. I know I probably should have tried to read it over the spooky season, but I only recently got my hands on it. And because she is so unbelievably thick, I think is going to be another one that will be great for wintertime. Look at that. Can you see all that foiling with writing on it? Symbols. This edition is so stunning. And it has a matte feel to it. It is beautiful. What is it you think you're protecting in that brain of yours? The war is over. Holdfast is dead. The eternal flame extinguished. There's no one left for you to save. Look at the sprayed edges. Those are so fun. Holding this is literally like a workout. And this is the gorgeous hardcover with all sorts of fun character art. What's actually wild is this artist, I'm gonna pop her on screen. I actually commissioned her for my Raylofic that I wrote several years ago. She did the like cover art for it. I think she might have done one or two extras for me. Just not that I asked for it. She just did them of my like original characters within that fic. So it's so cool to see like artists that I know of from being in fandom a long time getting commissioned to do like work like this for actual book editions. Like that's just so cool. Her artwork is amazing. Look at that. I have a feeling I'm gonna love this MMC. Just predicting. It is also signed by the author, and there's also a note from the author as well. You have a reverse colorway. I know the original is like over 1,000 pages. I think this one from Fairyloot, a little over 950. She's a long one. I think the longest book I've read so far was Court of Silver Flames by Sarah J. Maas. And I want to say that was like, isn't it like around 600, 650, somewhere in there? So this is significantly longer. It's based off of a Hermione fanfic, Manacled. I never read Manacled, and honestly, I don't think I will. I much prefer to read this as an original tale from the author than something that was based in the Harry Potter world. I've heard mixed things. Some people say it's better than Manacled. Some people say it's not. I want to read the original, so I am so excited to get to this. I want to prioritize this on my TBR. I'm also afraid the longer I wait, the more intimidated I'm gonna get. Next up are two books I want to show you quick that I recently purchased from a trip to Barnes & Noble. They've both been on my new releases TBR. The first is The Gingerbread Bakery by Laurie Gilmore. This was originally on my fall TBR, but considering that it seems to be geared around the holidays, I'm gonna probably reserve this for maybe sometime in early November, as I want to finish the series. I intend to stop after this one. This one is about Amy and Mac, who are secondary characters who've been in all of the other books. They're finally getting their long overdue romance, and I want to get it out of the way and read it and see what happens. And then of course I had to pick up Ali Hazelwood's Mate. This is the sequel to Bride. I loved Bride, gave it 5 stars. So I've been itching to get my hands on this. I do have a special edition of Mate that I pre-ordered. This is also a special edition from Barnes & Noble, and this is the paperback version in purple. It does come with some pretty tip-in artwork. Unfortunately, I'm not going to get to it in October, I don't think. I'm reading the second book in the Belladonna series right now, Foxglove, devouring it, absolutely loving it. It's wild because I read Belladonna probably a month and a half ago now, maybe even 2 months ago, and I didn't love it. It was kind of just like okay to me, so it's taking me forever to read the second book, but oh my gosh, I'm loving it. So part of me wants to like just continue and finish that series. I also really want to read this, so I'm hoping to maybe try and get to this before the end of October. That's my goal. All right, finally a couple unboxings for you. Starting with this one, which is from Lit Haven Boutique. They do a lot of spicy romance. Their books aren't usually priority or high on my radar, but this particular book I was fascinated by because it involves Sleepy Hollow. My subscribers will already know this, but if you're new around here, I'm a Sleepy Hollow addict. I don't know, that sounds a little weird, but I collect like Headless Horseman, Sleepy Hollow decor for Halloween. Sleepy Hollow is my favorite spooky book. It's my favorite movie, particularly the Tim Burton version, but I love the Disney version too. I grew up on that. If some of the artwork that was included with this special edition is anything to go by, it's incredibly spicy. I've already opened it just to see, make sure that everything seems to be intact. I did not get a good look at everything because I wanted to do this on camera with you guys. Here we go. Ooh, welcome to your eternity. Okay, this seems to be kind of maze or something that takes place in this book. So let's get the book out first and foremost. Oh, wow. Hollow and Legend, the slipcase that it comes in. That's supposed to be Katrina Von Tassel. And on the back it says, welcome to Sleepy Hollow, may you never leave. Look at that with a snake. That's embossed. Why did I not even know about this existing until mid-October? Ooh. Wow, this is leather bound. Holy crap, this is all embossed. Hollow and Legend by Karina Halley. This is gonna be kind of difficult to see, guys, but look at that. That is all embossed. That is crazy. With the blood dripping and the axe, even the sprayed edges. Wow. This is one of the most stunning books I've ever seen. I say that all the time, but it's true. Even the end page art has like gloss. There's a card with the author's signature, but it's also signed by the author as well. This is a first edition. So a note from the author: for the readers who wait all year for spooky season, this one's for you. Here's that same map or maze. Artwork is stunning. Oh, that's cool. Lit Haven even puts a certificate on their book. So I'm not sure if this is like a retelling or a reimagining of Sleepy Hollow. It seems like it might be more of a reimagining. Not that you can't read these kind of books outside of spooky season, but this might be something I hold off on if I can read in September or October of next year. I'll have something specifically that's very much in theme for the season, but wow. What a stunning, stunning edition. It did come with some extra artwork, but I've been told this is pretty spicy, so I don't know if I'm gonna be able to even show it to you. Oh yeah, I can't show this to you. Oh my God, I can't show that to you. Okay, not that I don't like spice, but okay. All right, I see you, Lit Haven, I see you. Let's open this owlcrate special edition next. If you've watched any of my recent videos, I've also made mention that I want to read Alchemy of Secrets by Stephaniegarber. It's her adult fantasy debut. And as soon as I saw on Owlcrate's Instagram that they were doing a special edition, I decided that I wanted to get my hands on it. From the Instagram pictures, sometimes I feel like with owlcrate, it's tough to judge what it's gonna look like, because sometimes I feel like in person, they look very, very different. I don't feel that way with other book subscriptions, but owlcrate, in my experience, is very hit and miss. So I hope I like this edition. I love Stephanie Garber. Once Upon a Broken Heart is like my all-time favorite series. I haven't even read A Curse for True Love yet, so I know that's pretty bold of me to say out loud. I do. I love the Caravel series. Jax is like the greatest MMC of all time, if you ask me. So I'm excited to read this. First impressions, it's pretty. Seems very dark. Wow, there's a lot to take in here. Ton of gold foiling. Now, this apparently takes place in Hollywood, which I think explains a lot of this flashy gold, but it is very dark. It's a very busy dust cover. What is life but a game? Everyone you meet is an opponent or an ally, or sometimes a clue. Local legends and urban myths taught by a woman called the Professor. Most students believe the Professor's stories are just fiction, but Holland St. James has always been convinced that magic is real. When she tracks down a local legend named the Watchman, who can supposedly tell you when you'll die, the world finally makes sense, except that the Watchman tells her she will die at midnight tomorrow unless she finds an ancient object called the alchemical heart. I'm sure I butchered that. Does have very pretty sprayed edges, but again, very dark. I feel like when I saw the images online on their Instagram, the green was like really popped. It was a lot brighter, so it's much more muted in person. Ooh, that's a pretty hardcover. Lots of gold foiling again. Wow. Ooh. What is magic if not something that makes you believe and feel and wonder? Oh, I love Stephanie Garber. One thing can be a coincidence, but when you have multiple things that all add up, it's a story. Gosh, more gold foiling. Look at that. Wow, that's like insane. Feast for the eyes for sure. Oh, and there's a note from Stephanie. I'm very confused though, because another thing I saw on Instagram was a bunch of black and white character art. And I thought those were the actual end pages. I spoke too soon. This is what I saw on Instagram. So this is the reverse dust jacket. The character art is gorgeous, but you can see what I mean by like old Hollywood. I don't know if I would like reverse it to make this the dust jacket. That doesn't really make much sense to me. Oh, that's kind of disappointing. The good news is I do have another edition coming. I am in a Stephanie Garber Facebook group, and somebody in the UK was able to snatch one of the special editions. I think you can only get in their Tesco stores over there. She managed to get one for me, so I paid her and I paid for shipping, and that's on its way. That's a really, really pretty purple and blue and gold edition. It's very, very pretty sprayed edges as well. I mean, even this end page artwork, like, I'm sorry, this doesn't really do anything for me. I don't know. This is very lackluster. I'm gonna think about it. I mean, regardless, I want to read this. So whether I read from this edition or I read from the UK edition that I have forthcoming. Fairyloot also did a version of this that I thought was pretty as well, but I wasn't wowed by it. So I don't know. I do feel like a lot of the UK covers of this are very, very pretty. Maybe just the UK is doing it better for this book. That is the owlcrate edition of Alchemy of Secrets. I cannot wait to read this. And then lastly, for this unboxing portion of the video, I have a special edition that I pre-ordered from Litjoy Crate. And if you watched my fall book tag video, I made mention that if this came in time for Halloween, that I would try and get in a reading of it. Here it is. The Legend of Sleepy Hollow by Washington Irving. I gasped when I saw this edition from Litjoy Crate. As soon as I saw that they were doing Legend of Sleepy Hollow, I made sure to pre-order my own copy. The pumpkin, I have it upside down. There we go. No dust jacket. This is the hardcover. Oh, it's stunning. So cool. There's also some other tales from Washington Irving in this edition as well. There's Sleepy Hollow. There is some tip-in art to my understanding. Here's one. Here's Ichabod Crane and the Horsemen, of course. Some more. There's the back, the same as the front. I highly recommend checking out owlcrate. They do some beautiful special editions. I feel like people sleep on them. I'm so stoked to have one now. That's all for this part of the unboxing. I do have a couple other pretty special edition books that I got my hands on within the last couple months that I should show you as well. But let me take you back now to several weeks ago when I did another book on haul of some very pretty books that you're gonna want to see. I have another special editions book haul for you guys. Again, another compilation of months worth of book buying, except for a couple books that I did get for my birthday at the end of September. So grab yourself a beverage, a snack of your choice, and let's get into it. So I'm going to start with the books that I got for my birthday. So fortunate that I had family members buy me some of these books, so I didn't have to go out and purchase them on my own. The first of which I saw Locke's Library raving about in one of her recent reading vlogs, and that totally piqued my interest. And it's In the Veins of the Drowning by Kaylee Cassidy. This is the paperback. It's not a special edition, but it does have some pretty gold foiling. Even though I watched Locke's Library's reading vlog, she doesn't give spoilers, which I appreciate. But that being said, I still don't know quite a lot about this. The back reads, "The monster is always slain. Imogen Nell is in hiding from a cruel kingdom that believes sirens are monstrous, blood-hungry creatures, hiding from a king and his captain who viciously hunt her kind, hiding from her own alluring abilities. By keeping herself from the sea, Mogan's bloodlust is dulled, and her black wings remain concealed beneath her skin." Okay. When a neighboring king comes to visit, Imogen can no longer hide. He knows precisely what she is, and he believes she can save their kingdoms from an even greater monster. But Imogen's power threatens to violently reveal itself, and the two form a blood bond that protects them both. They flee together, traversing waters teeming with the undead. Sounds like a fun time, gothic fantasy read, so I am excited to get to this at some point. The next one that I was gifted for my birthday is actually one that I'm surprised I actually got, because I have nearly bought this secondhand so many times now I've lost count. The sequel is coming out very soon, so I would like to try and read this within the next couple months. Quicksilver by Kaylee Hart. It's just the standard paperback, nothing special, but that's totally fine. I have heard very mixed things about this. It seems to be one of those books that people either rave about and love or can't stand. We'll see which category I end up falling into. All I know is that the MMC is Kingfisher, I believe is his name. So I am dead curious to read more about him. Do not touch the sword. Do not turn the key. Do not open the gate. 24-year-old Cyrus Fane is good at keeping secrets. No one knows about the strange powers she possesses or the fact that she has been picking pockets and stealing from the Undying Queen's reservoirs for as long as she can remember. In the land of the unforgiving desert, there isn't much a girl wouldn't do for a glass of water. But sooner or later, every secret comes out. When Cyrus comes face to face with death himself, she inadvertently reopens a gateway between realms and is transported to a land of ice and snow. The Fae have always been the stuff of myth, of legend, of nightmares, but it turns out they're real, and Cyrus has landed right in the middle of a centuries-long conflict that might just get her killed. Next up is a fantasy series that, once more, I don't know a whole lot about, but I keep seeing it being recommended, and that is the Shadow and Bone trilogy by Leah Bardugo. The first book is Shadow and Bone, the second is Sage and Storm, and the third is Run and Rising. I believe this is my niece's or my sister's copies of them. My niece said she didn't love it all that much, but I believe my sister read them and really enjoyed them. So I am so curious to read more about this. These are the standard paperbacks, but they are quite pretty and colorful. Here's the third book. Soldier, Summoner, Saint. Elena Starkov's power has grown, but not without a price. She is the sun summoner, hunted across the true sea, haunted by the lives she took on the shadow fold. But she and Mal can't outrun her enemies for long. the Darkling is more determined than ever to claim Alina's magic and use it to take the Ravkan throne. With nowhere else to turn, Alina enlists the help of an infamous privateer and sets out to lead the Grisha army. They're not too long either. The font is pretty large. I feel like I could fly through these. And this is feeling more and more like maybe a winter time read, but we'll see. Lastly, for the birthday books that I received, J.K. Rowling, Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone, the Mina Lima edition. I actually completely forgot that I had this on my Amazon wish list. It's literally been on there for years, and I just completely forgot about it. I've never seen it in person, but my niece and I were looking through it. It's interactive and quite beautiful. I'm stoked to have a copy of this. And my understanding is they didn't complete the series. I'm not sure why. I think there might be the first 3 books that were done by Mina Lima. Now that I have this one, I'm thinking I might want to get the other 2 just to kind of complete my set of them. But this was a pleasant surprise. I do have the large hardcover illustrated editions by, is it Jim Kay? This is a nice one to have in your collection as well if you are a Harry Potter fan. And now getting into the books that I purchased myself. The first of which is an owlcrate edition. I believe it's an exclusive edition from them that I spotted on their Instagram. And as soon as I saw the end page character art, that immediately piqued my interest. And that is Never the Roses by Jennifer Lambert. This dust jacket is so pretty. And then it's got these gorgeous rose sprayed edges. The hardcover has, I believe, some references to the story with some like personal letters here. It says a guide to cultivating Viridian roses. Some more like artwork, The Adventures of Beastly Bunny. Not sure what that means. A quote at the bottom that says, I could have killed you while you slept, Em. Don't push me. If it wasn't obvious by the hardcover and these little blurbs, this is a romantasy. And then we have the reverse dust jacket, which is equally beautiful. Look at that. Even the sages do not know how the heart heals. And the other says, I've washed my hands of it all. I'm done with war. And then the end page character art, which was what piqued my interest. How pretty is that? The only thing I will say, and I did notice this after the fact, and I even went back to the Instagram post, and there were people that even mentioned it. And it could just be like a style preference, but look how tiny their hands are. Look at his hand in relation to like his head. And the back character art as well. Stunning, again with the tiny hands, but still a beautiful edition. All she wanted was one look at the library of her greatest enemy. And after a lifetime of being wielded against each other, they finally meet. The dread sorceress, Wanera?
I don't know.
Has retired. She's exhausted from fighting the endless wars of kings and queens, and has long accepted that her death is near. Alone at last, but for a few unwanted companions, a near mythical wolf, a goddess's avatar, and a feline that embodies magic itself, Wanera realizes that she's bored. On a whim, or perhaps at the behest of fate, she makes an unlikely trip to the most extensive library in existence, the home of her most powerful rival, the sorcerer Strenos. By recklessly stealing a book from him, Wanera inadvertently initiates a forbidden correspondence. Taunting notes and clever retorts reveal a connection neither has found, nor could ever find in any other. This did have a pretty high rating on Goodreads too, which also convinced me to buy this edition from owlcrate. And it is quite pretty, so I am excited and very curious to read this. I completely forgot that I had my glass of wine in my little pumpkin cup. I needed that. I'm parched. The next is a book set. I believe it's a book set, if I'm remembering correctly, that is from the Arcane Society, which I don't believe I've featured Arcane on this channel to date, but They are a gorgeous, gorgeous special edition subscription box. And they focus specifically on dark romantasy. I have been wanting these editions for a hot minute, and I've heard really good things about this duology. The seller sent this to me exactly how she would have received it from Arcane. They always package their books so well. I feel like all subscription boxes could take note from Arcane Society. The Blood Orange Black Rose duology by Karina Haley. Not sure if I'm saying that right, but take a look at these gorgeous foiled covers. These are stunning, and I really can't remember which one comes first. They're numbered at the top. I appreciate when books do that. Here is Blood Orange. That character art is stunning. With the red foiling. It's this gorgeous like rose foiling on the back with a beautiful sword. The sword is also connected on the sprayed edges. I know some people complain that they tend to make their covers on the darker side, but I don't mind that. I mean, really don't mind that at all. The naked hardcover is dramatically different, but I don't mind it in the least. It has this very like inky, sketchy, kind of minimalistic artwork. And look at the spine. That is so pretty. And there's the back. So if you open it up, gorgeous. This one is signed on the beautiful end page character art there. Look at her. She is so pretty. Oh, I love this dedication to anyone who has felt alienated, unappreciated, and misunderstood. There's nothing wrong with you. You just need to find your people. Some more artwork. Yes, it is the same on the front and back. The reverse dust jacket is very pretty as well, with the red on red. Before I get ahead of myself, the seller did also include the original card that Arcane includes with their books. I believe there might be some additional artwork in here. Yes, there is. Wow. He's super intriguing. And this is from the author. She says, Blood Orange is a retelling of Dracula, but I use that term lightly. Vaultu, hope I'm saying that right, Aminov is a vampire who eventually befriended the author Bram Stoker. It was his friendship and his confession to the author that gave Stoker the idea to write Dracula. Not to mention, Vaultu had loved a woman named Mina, later reincarnated as Lucy, and his best friend is another vampire called Dr. Abram Van Helsing. Enter Dahlia, a vampire-slaying witch who has been sent to Venice, Italy, in disguise as a music student to try and get close to Vaultu, now a music professor. But even though she was sent to kill him, the closer she gets to Vaultu, the more her mission is compromised, and the closer she is to learning the truth that will shatter her world. Beware, these books have bites. I'm even more excited now to read this. I cannot wait. And here is book 2, which is Black Rose. I love the play on blue and red. So pretty. More of the foiling on the back and a book. A quill on the sprayed edges. Oh my gosh, these books are so pretty. And then another minimalist type of cover. That is so pretty. Look at that. That is so freaking cool. I mean, come on. Again, same on front and back. I love this reverse jacket even more than the first. This one has black with red foiling. These would be a great October read. Now, if you watch my last special editions book haul, this might give you a chuckle because I accidentally went into Barnes and bought the second book instead of the first book, which is what I initially intended to buy. However, I do want to read this duology. I've heard amazing things about this. Dark academia, it's got some romance in it. I got on Barnes & Noble again a couple days later because they didn't have it in store, which should have been my first clue in. The special edition was out of stock. And you know, when it comes to Barnes & Noble special editions, they rarely restock. So I had a panic. So I did go online and order this secondhand. A Study in Drowning by Ava Reed. And this is the special edition, again, from Barnes & Noble. The back says, but if fairies and monsters were real, so were the women who defeated them. And I love these sprayed edges with the books. That is so fun. I feel like Barnes has really stepped up their game with their special editions. No character art on the end pages, but like the second book, I love the hardcovers. I just think they are so intricate. It began as all things did, a girl on the shore, terrified and desirous. Effie Sarah, gosh, these names, has always believed in fairy tales, even though crumbling under the pressure of her first term at college, she can't always seem to tell the difference between fact and fiction. Her only solace has been Engehard, an epic from Lyrian national hero and author Emery's, I'm not even going to say that last name. Not going to do it. Taken by chance and maybe fate, to the late author's estate, she's intent on finding the purpose to her own story, but instead stumbles upon Preston, not saying his last name, a scholar from the Literature College. Preston has come to Harith Manor, determined to prove Effie's favorite author is a fraud, and her only hope of proving him wrong is to conspire with him. A number of booktubers I follow have said very good, positive things about this. Also, I keep hearing very positive, glowing reviews about this author. So I am so excited to read this duology. Next up is a book that I have been wanting to get my hands on for quite some time. I first saw a YouTuber, was it Vanilla Moon? I believe it was her. She had bought this secondhand, and just based off of the cover alone, it completely intrigued me. It was made by a subscription box called Smut and Sip. So I went on the hunt for it. Saw it listed a couple times on Mercari, but they were all sold. I finally spotted it on Mercari again very recently, so I snatched it up right away. Cruel, Dark, and Lover Duet by Bian Northwick. This cover, Gothic cathedral artwork, just sold me. Very, very pretty. There's the back. Strange things bloom where grief lives. And then the sprayed edges here. They're fairly dark, but and quite eerie. That end page character art. Oh my gosh. Again, signed by the author. The chapter pages. So pretty. Oh, look at that. Gorgeous. Only thing that I vaguely remember about this is that I think he's some kind of a professor and that it's dark romance. So another one that I'm going to go into without much information at all. I'll get back to you on this one. Maybe I'll even save this for a reading vlog. So yes, I think this selective unboxing video is long enough. If you stuck it out to the end, be sure to let me know down in the comments. Please be sure to give it a thumbs up. I'd really appreciate it. It lets me know whether you prefer compilation videos like this or if you would prefer that I do my normal sit downs. I guess I did a combination of both in this video, so let me know if you like that as well. It's really hard for me to gauge because I don't get a lot of engagement on my videos. So by all means, let me know what you think. If you aren't subscribed already, be sure to subscribe. I do a lot of book content on this channel and I'd love for you to stick around. I hope you're all doing well wherever you are, and I will see you guys again soon. Bye. You hear moaning in the background, that's Mila. It ain't me. Ah! Oh no, oh no, oh no. And it's not my stomach. Oh gosh, okay, all right. Gas, oh my God, I cannot read.